Chelsea Football Club all January decided that they were going to chase a forward. However, they ended up with nobody, and the reports coming out now, it's because of Estevao. I'm going to explain to you why. Chelsea believe they have a generational talent. Furthermore, the sporting director from Kendry Páez club in IDV has come out and basically leaked the plan for his development going forward. And I can't lie to you, it sounds very, very responsible. Something I don't really associate with Chelsea and this ownership group. Furthermore, we've got an update on Petrović and the outstanding season he's having at Strasbourg. And I'm here to make a statement that actually is going to be very hyperbolic for some people. But for me, if he doesn't come back next year and break into this team, we have failed him as a club. And finally, I'm actually here to put some positivity out there regarding not the ownership, but the season so far. I think a lot of people have really dampened everything down because the expectation is, as Chelsea fans, we need to win trophy. We need to be top of the league. However, if I go back and I look at the prediction video that I made and the comments there, when I said I believe we could finish third at best and fourth, people cooked me. Well, game week 24 and we're fourth. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to look at the past 10 seasons. So 7 under Roman and these 3 now. What were the points tallies? And I'm telling you now, it's going to be very surprising for a lot of you. But before we get started, number 1, hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a long way. It's the best way you lot can support me. And secondly, if you're new to the channel, we're like 750 people away from 40,000. I'd really appreciate it if we do it by the end of this month. So subscribe ahead. It's the best way you can support because you're new. Let's get started. When Chelsea were chasing Garnacho and Gittins, what did I say on this channel? I don't want either. And the reason I don't want either is because I think in Neto, Sancho, and Noni, and Mudryk, and Felix, I thought we had enough. Maybe it wasn't the quality that everyone wants. I think there's more to extract from those players. However, Chelsea didn't get Garnacho. Chelsea didn't go for Gittins. And John Cross is coming out with, Chelsea believe they have a generational talent in Estevao. Listen, Estevao is most definitely on track to be generational. These days, we label anything generational, right? Any kid has 3 good games and we label them as generational. However, in his case, he's putting up unreal numbers in the Brazilian Serie A, Neymar-like numbers at that age. He's also getting Brazilian caps. Yes, it's not the best Brazil. However, it's still Brazil. And more importantly, we're seeing what Lamine Yamal is doing at age 17. So our mind starts to wonder, maybe Estevao's in the same category of players. Maybe Estevao can be just as good. So what is John Cross saying? He's saying Chelsea believe he's generational. They didn't want to sign anyone to block the pathway. And that long term, they believe this is the solution. So next year when he comes in, they're hoping he hits the ground running. Strike 1. I don't like this. And the reason I don't like this, and I'm going to explain to you why. I don't want there to be any sort of pressure on Estevao that he needs to come in and hit the ground running. For me, the thing that Chelsea need to do at this moment in time, I expect more from Sancho and I expect more from Neto. I don't expect more from Madueke because Madueke has given me 7 goals. And this is what I expect from Madueke, a frustrating player that's going to do things with high frequency over and over again. And then eventually it'll work. He'll have good numbers at the end of the season, but you're never going to win anything with him. My personal opinion. Neto and Sancho's put up great numbers in Germany, hasn't translated to the Premier League. I believe there's more in him there. We just haven't seen it. Neto, listen, 6 months ago, I was doing cartwheels. I don't believe Neto's become a bad player overnight. So for me, before we put any dependence or any dependencia on Estevao, I need those 3 to step up. Furthermore, what's going on with Kendry Páez? Kendry Páez is another star boy coming and a lot of people really hype this kid up. For me, I am very cautious about how much I'm hyping him up purely based on the fact that yes, he has played for Ecuador. Yes, he has looked decent for Ecuador, but he's also had peaks and troughs. He's a 16-year-old, or he's 17 now actually, and he's going to turn 18 in the summer. And prior to that, Chelsea want to bring him back early. The sporting director of his club, IDV, has actively come out and said, look, the plan is that he's going to go to England between the 17th and the 20th. He's going to be there, acclimatized for a bit, and we don't know if he's actually going to play with us. So basically, they're going to do the Anselmino treatment. Bring him to England, let him train, let him develop, let him get used to the training methodology, the physical nature of the training, and then Club World Cup, release him and to the world. Basically, then see what he's made of. For me, this is actually a very good plan. This is responsible. Look, he's not getting anything, no benefits for playing in Ecuador anymore. If anything, I think he's too big of a fish in a small market. He needs to come to England, and what I would do is make him train with the first team. Make him be in and around the first team. Make him be in and around the squad. Get to know the squad. Learn the language. And also, the biggest thing of all, and this is my personal opinion, I believe this man will have to acclimatize to Maresca's demand. Maresca is very demanding. He has a specific way of playing. And a lot of people saying he can play left wing. I don't think he can. I don't think he's mobile enough in the way that Maresca wants him. He reminds me an awful lot of Joao Felix. He's going to be Palmer's backup dancer. And for me, I'm going to have to ask you a question. Are you happy with Kendry Páez only playing cup games and 5 minutes here and there when we're winning? Because next year, no more Conference League. Hopefully next year, Champions League. So when there's Champions League, there's different demand. Do you understand what I mean? For me, Kendry Páez needs to stay with Chelsea. As soon as pre-season starts, allez les bleus, you're going to France. You're going to Strasbourg. Go and play your minutes. Go and play your games. Acclimatize in that league. Andre Santos the thing. That's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get started with the rest of the video. When it comes to Petrović, I really believe Petrović epitomizes, once I make my mind up on you, it's very difficult to change my opinion. Because a lot of people got one thing in their head. Petrović can't pass. Sanchez is the ball-playing goalkeeper. Petrović is the better goalkeeper, the actual goalkeeper. And since then, that's been the narrative. But what's happened? Petrović has gone on loan to Strasbourg, and at Strasbourg, he has really developed into a very good ball-playing goalkeeper. Well, at least that's what the statistics say. Globally, based on pass completion rate with pass attempted, he has the 4th highest percentage. He has played the most passes in Ligue 1. So now, I'm going to make a take that I think is going to be considered as hyperbolic. If we sell him and keep Sanchez, we have failed this whole project. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's hyperbolic, I know, it sounds it, but you buy these players young. You buy them for 12 million. You send him on loan, he develops, he's achieving great things. And instead of integrating him back into the first team and showing that there's a pathway, if we sell him for a profit of 20-25 million, great on the books, bad message to send. And for me, Petrović is a better goalkeeper than Robert Sanchez. Petrović is all round better, and he's proven that even with his feet, he is better. So for me, it is so interesting to see what happens next with his career, because Chelsea gave him a career, right? He was playing in the MLS and he was having a decent, mediocre football career. Nobody in Europe knew who he was. He wasn't even playing for his country. Comes to Chelsea, exposure in the Premier League, into Liga, fighting for a Europa League spot, #1 for his country now, and the man is going to earn a heck of a lot of money if Chelsea either make him their #1 or sell him when he moves on somewhere else. So in that essence, we developed him. We're going to make a profit on him. But we're not in the business of making profit as fans. We want to see the best players make it at Chelsea. It's like with Andre Santos. There's no excuse that he doesn't make it at Chelsea. Petrović, I would understand it, but I would not like it, especially when Robert Sanchez is my goalkeeper. In the comments below, let me know, do you think that Petrović is good enough to be Chelsea's #1 long term? Or is he good enough to make up the spot before Mike Penders hopefully develops into the #1? I'm here to give some positivity, right? Matisse made a wonderful video, right? And I really liked that video. And the reason I liked that video from Matisse is because there was a lot of independent thinking. At the moment, I feel like Chelsea fandom has become an echo chamber. Everyone's got the same opinion. And what I liked about Matisse was he came across with it with a very bird's eye view. He gave opinions that basically, I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this, I agree with this, I agree with this, and I agree with this. Wonderful video. Very good, 22 minutes, excellent listen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And for me, what really stood out from my aspect is, I think people at the moment are forgetting what the initial targets this year were. People want us to compete for leagues. I totally understand. People look at the fact that we spent 1.3 billion. I understand. However, you need to ask yourself the question, how much of that was on Strasbourg? How much of that was on young players that are going to come through in 2030? And how much of that was on the first team? And how much of that has actually worked out? And how much of it hasn't worked out? Well, the reality is, since Blue Co have taken over, we got 44 points, finished 12th. We got 63 points, finished 6th, and we're on track to around about 70 points this year, which will be a decent return. Prior to that, I looked at the numbers, right? In the last 10 years, we got 87 points, first place, 50 points the year after. Then we got 93 points. That 3-year span of first, 10th, first was as good as it got for us in that 10 years. After that, we became a top 4 battling team. 70, 72, 66, 67, and 74. It's literally what we did last year. It's literally like one win was the difference between what we were for the last 5 years under Roman in the league to what we were last season. If this year we get into the 70s, we've had a good season, guys. And I think we need to be realistic in what we view. Is it what I want from my Chelsea? No. I have said this before and I'm going to reiterate it again. We are at the moment 9 points clear of where we were at game week 24 last year. We've scored more goals, we conceded less. We've lost 5 games. This time last year after 24 games, broski, we've lost 10. We've lost 5 this year. We've got 2 extra wins and 3 draws. Combination of 9 points. It's not as bad as everyone's making it sound. I am not saying it's perfect. What I want is get top 4 this year, deep run in the Club World Cup, generate as much money as possible, and in the summer, please invest into the first team. I do not want this summer to worry about we're buying another young player, we're buying another player for Strasbourg, we're doing this. If you get me, my goalkeeper, my centre half, and my striker, I will not complain one bit. Go and buy 15 different Brazilian kids. I will not care. As long as you give me a player that I believe is a great centre-half, a player that I believe is a great number 9, and a player that I believe is a great goalkeeper that will strengthen my first 11, I will not moan. Because I understand that this is a business model and they want to make money. But as a fan, I want to win. And as a fan, I want to see my team do the best that they can do. And trust me, you win with Chelsea, your fan base grows. You win with Chelsea, the money comes in through the sponsors. You win with Chelsea, the brand grows even more, you make more money. It genuinely is an easy formula. I'm not saying go and spend 500 million. I'm not saying go spend 300 million. I'm saying spend 150 million on 3 players that are going to improve my first team, that are going to make sure that the burden on Levi Colwill is not there to lead the defense. That the burden is not on Nicholas Jackson to be the main number 9 and he can't go off form. That I don't have to see Robert Sanchez. Do you understand what I mean there? And then, if we get Reece James fit, if we get Romeo Lavia fit, if we get, Fofana fit, bonus. If Esteval slaps, bonus. If Kendry Páez slaps, bonus. I don't need us to count on those guys. I need you to address the issues at hand. Once we do that, we're all going to be happy. But this season so far, the Cups, it is very upsetting that we were out in the 4th round in both of them. It was. However, I do want to reiterate, the league standing is not as doom and gloom as everyone's making it sound. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed this video. I hope you made it this far. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts. Bye.